Welcome to the Icons Edit, the podcast where style, screen, and pop culture collide. I'm your host, Dawn Anna Williamson, and we talk about everything from the 90s, 80s even, and the early 2000s. Everything iconic is on this podcast.
Sex and the city never sleeps. The magic in the air so deep. We chase the moments, make them last. The future mirrors all
Now, today's icon, if you don't already know, we're already previewing it right here. We have the most iconic handbag of all time, the Fendi Baguette. And to talk about the Fendi Baguette, I have a very special guest. I have Holly with me. Now, Holly, I'm going to try and give you a big billing here.
Thank you.
So you're an expert in vintage bags, archival bags. You're a collector. You're a reseller. You have your own vintage store, which is Holly Closet Case.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me today.
Are you kidding?
I'm so
Thank you.
excited.
So to explain, Holly brought some of her baguettes and I brought some of mine from home as well. Just to give you a little, we bought all the shiny ones.
We did the best ones.
The best ones. If you are a Fendi Baguette collector, or you're somebody who wants to collect them, or you're just somebody who absolutely wishes and admires them from afar, we're going to give you all the information that we can about the bag, where it started, Sex and the City, of course. We're going to talk a lot about Sex and the City. So why don't we start off with the history of the baguettes, where it started and how it became so big. So 1997, I think, was the launch of the Fendi Baguette.
Yes.
And then when did it blow up?
I think the iconic runway show in 1999, well, that's referenced a lot. Now I see that.
Yeah.
But Sex and the City is what I think really brought the bag everywhere.
Yeah, and of course, Sex and the City was 1998. So the bag's released in 1997. And I think from what I've heard, it wasn't like an immediate success. I think it was Sex and the City that propelled the bag into the kind of huge mainstream that everybody had to have it. Is it true that it was the first it bag?
I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, definitely.
Absolutely. I think it is the it bag.
Is there a more, okay, so going off topics like your Fendi, is there a more covetable bag in your opinion? Because you deal in all vintage bags. Is there any more covetable than the Fendi Baguette?
I personally, the Fendi Baguette is my favorite because there's just so many different variations, so many fabrics, and that's why it's my favorite personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Tom Ford, Gucci as well,
but
but yeah.
It's not, apart from the horse bit though, it's not as iconic as the Baguette. And like you said, there's not as many variations. I suppose the other one would be the Dior saddle.
Oh yes, of course. How could I forget the saddle?
And we're gonna talk about that another time because we're gonna try to focus on Fendi today. But the Dior saddle, I think, is probably the competitor in this sense. And of course Chanel. But Chanel is very much a muchness. You know what I mean? There's variations, but like you said, not as many as the Fendi Baguette. So 1997 happens. They dropped the Fendi Baguette, and before this, as a little bit of fashion history, Fendi actually wasn't that popular as a fashion brand. It was a luxury brand, but it wasn't kind of in the mainstream as a real wannabe. It was very known for fur, I think, exotics, obviously. And so I think it was third generation designer who came into Fendi in 1997 and just designed this bag. Do you know why it's called the Baguette? It's actually really funny. It's really obvious. It's
like you're holding a piece of bread. Sorry, I went like
They wanted it to resemble or to have the idea of a French baguette that you would carry underneath your arm, and so that's why it was called the Baguette.
I love it.
I know, it's great. I mean, it's that sort of name that just becomes so synonymous that you stop to think about. You don't think about why.
Yeah, so
why
iconic. And then
name.
the croissant as well, which is great.
Let's talk about the croissant because we have a croissant here. Now, do you know what bag came first?
I believe it was the Baguette.
Just the classic Baguette.
They did make right before the Baguette, they were making, have you seen those ones on the market? They're like the pre-Baguette, where I think that's when Karl Lagerfeld, obviously he was with Fendi, and I believe they were making Baguette bags, but they didn't get the shape.
Okay.
So
are those something that you've come across and that you find a collectible or no?
No, I haven't seen many that have really caught my eye. I think as soon as it was adapted into the Baguette is when
Right.
You know.
So people don't ask you for those kind of early versions of.
And there's a lot of fake fakes on the market insane.
Okay, we definitely have to talk about the whole fakes on the market, because I think a lot of people ask me, well, and I know this is a difficult subject, because when you advertise how to authenticate a bag, it gives people ideas of how to circumvent, being spotted. But maybe we can talk about a little bit of how just obvious things that people can look for. I know we've discussed this before. Say somebody, because first of all, let's talk about how much bags are right now to buy, because that's crucial to what I'm asking you, because it's now not $1,000, it's $5,000 to buy a Fendi on resale. So that's a serious investment, and you're going to need to know it's authentic. So
exactly.
We'll talk about the pricing in a second, but what are the couple of things that somebody could immediately check if something is authentic? Let's talk about a Fendi classic baguette. So this one.
Well, the most important thing is you want to feel the hardware and like the weight of it. And then you want to check the lining.
Because it's always weighty, right? That flap comes down.
Yes, if you feel, and as well, the interior logo that says Fendi, if you tap it and it feels like plastic, if you feel behind it, then that's a big telltale.
Yeah.
And also if it's vintage and then you have lizard and stuff, they always used real exotic leather. So if it feels a little bit off, then that's another sign as well.
And they always had the exotic leather goes through the whole of the interior, right, in the exotics, which is actually what makes them so delicate. Like I have this one, which is the Python Mama, and that one just has the snake all the way through the interior.
It's just so beautifully, like they just don't do it like that anymore.
No, because now it's sort of, I find that you just get like a strip for show.
And they're boxy, and I think a lot of the new ones as well, they're not even using real exotic leather. I think some of them are, but...
Is that right? Actually, while we're on it, let's talk about the new ones. So they re-released Fendi Baguettes in 2019. So there is a big difference in the shape.
I hated those ones.
Yeah,
May I get that on record? They look like lunch boxes. I didn't like the metal.
Boxy?
I have no idea. I thought they were horrendous.
And that awful crossbody strap that's got the big, it's like that's not what the bag's supposed to be about. It's a baguette. It's supposed to be under your shoulder.
And and I would never source one because it's just like I love my job and I love sourcing amazing pieces, but
ones.
I refused. People would ask, will you source? I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't.
I actually had a lot of feedback because obviously I work in luxury fashion, and people said that they've had to return their Fendis to the store on multiple occasions because of loose sequins. So I actually knew a few people that bought the purple, of course, we'll talk about that later on, and they said, I'm so annoyed, I've had to take it back for repair 5 times already, and I've had it for a year because all of the sequins just fall off. Do you find that happens with the vintage ones as much?
It can. Like there's always, and I actually put it in a lot of clients' orders, you get a care card that says, all of these are handmade, handle with care, do not rub against anything.
Right.
It depends who owned the bag, I believe, especially with vintage. My fiance, he actually repairs some pieces for me. So
he's a keeper.
He is, yes.
Keep hold of him. A man who repairs Fendi baguettes.
And he'll stitch like everything. eBay.
No.
But no, I found him when I found some baguettes, but no, I'm just kidding. But so it's important that you don't buy one that has been extremely repaired. So if it has not been repaired correctly, for example, if you sent this to a cobbler, they're going to stitch it back together. But if you see a lot on the market, they have all these, like the sequins, they're kind of stuck because people glue them with super glue. So
is it better then to buy a total fixer-upper that hasn't been repaired and have someone repair it than to buy one that's been repaired?
No, because if you buy one that's been repaired well, it's fine. But if you buy one that, because then you can't fix that. Which I mean, some people don't mind, which is fine. But a lot of the time it's not disclosed and there's like this horrible like residue. I don't know. And then I see people and they charge premium for pieces with missing sequins. Like I will never post a bag with missing sequins for an outrageous price because I don't think that makes any sense. But
it's because you're British as well.
Yeah.
This is what we do. We feel like people should get a fair price for a fair, and I think you're right. I don't think people are charging fair prices for the condition of some of the things that I'm seeing as well now.
And I don't think a lot of people know either. There's a lot of them with like missing enamel. Have you noticed that? You see them with the metal and I'm like, wait, this is $6,000, but it's missing the enamel. Like, come on. But a lot of buyers, they don't know.
They don't know before they're buying them, and then you get it, and then you're like, I mean, I bought one recently. This might be one for your other half. I got a Mama white sequin for £400. It's got holes and stuff, but it has never been repaired. So,
you have to send it to me.
Yeah, I paid $400, and yeah, it's going to cost me to get it repaired, but I've paid a fair price. The white ones do show the glue as well.
Yes, and that's really just that's a common thing with those, but I think we can fix it.
Okay, great. That's good to know. Let's talk about It's a Baguette, the most famous. Is that not how you started your business? You told me this before, didn't you?
Yes. So actually, I've always loved fashion. My mum was a vintage collector, and I just always, since a kid, I loved fashion. But I was rewatching Sex and the City, and it was during COVID. And I see on, I guess it's Instagram or Facebook, it's not a bag, it's a baguette.
Right.
So I'm just scrolling through Poshmark, and I see the purple sequin baguette, the original, for $1,000. And I had, at that time, this was 5 years ago, I had $1,000 in my bank. No, like $1,500. And I was like, I have a really good feeling about this. I'm going to do it. So I bought it, and then I sold it for a nice amount.
And that was how you got the seed money to start
And that
your
is
business,
how I got
wasn't
the
it?
seed. Exactly.
Incredible.
That bag, which is kind of like a full circle because it's that bag.
It's
and
that
then
bag.
and then yeah.
But I've said this to you before, but did you ever regret selling that bag because it's the original purple sequin?
Now, yes. I mean, I have this one over here, which I adore, but
I've never seen this bag before, and this is incredible.
Yeah, so I do regret it, but I don't at the same time because I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't sell that bag.
Nice that was the bag that started your business as well. So would you say that the purple sequin is still the most coveted of all baguettes? Or would you say there's another one?
I think it's getting now, especially with the new runway show, I think people are getting a little bit, they're over the purple because what I feel like it was so flooded everywhere with the re-edition. And if you see even the re-edition on the resale market, they're not making them, they're not selling.
But you
because
can still buy those from Fendi, right?
Exactly. They're not.
I don't
So
understand
now,
this. Why are they selling them on resale for $6,000 when you can go onto Fendi for $5,000?
I don't know, unless it's the original, which I believe there is one on eBay, and I think it's like
I saw it.
$19,000.
I put it in my watch list.
Jog
in
on.
The Vegas.
That's
in
insane.
The Vegas. I know. And do you want to know the worst thing about that?
What?
That bag, I missed it by 10 minutes.
I saw it. I know the
do you
brand
know how
you're
much
talking.
It was?
I do.
This was only
I nearly
6
died
months
because
ago.
I have, the secrets of all of that,
Yes,
and I had
yeah.
it, and I saw it, and I was like, oh fuck.
Someone wrote to me and said, "Tell me that it was you that got this," and I went. 2,800. It was 2,800
I know.
for the vintage Fendi purple, and I'm like, oh
And it
my
had it. Yeah, it was.
God.
I know.
And it was that person. That's the one who's got it on eBay. And I know it because it was listed on eBay about 8 days after that sale.
Oh no.
100%.
It
was
must
that
be.
person.
Yeah.
100% because they don't come around that often. Which might sound crazy to you guys because that is a lot of money. That's not a lot of money for that bag.
No, and now I feel it's just going to get more and more expensive.
I mean, they're never going to sell that bag at that price. It's not.
No, I don't think
It's not
so.
a fair price. What do you think would be a fair price now?
For the purple?
For the purple, original purple.
I think $10,000. And now that sounds insane.
No, but
this would
it's
be for a
realistic.
collector. And then we have the new. I did like the new runway show, but we'll talk about that in a
Yeah.
bit. But these are going to be about 12 grand. 8 grand, and they're not made as. And don't get me wrong, I actually did enjoy the new pieces, but.
Yeah.
So if that's the original and the purple, and it was in, I believe in the what's the museum in London, the fashion one in there.
The V&A. The V&A. 2 people from England can't remember the name of the most the most famous museum. All right, well, that didn't happen. They had it on display.
Yes, I believe, and you can search the article because this is around the time that I was selling mine, and I remember I actually called because I didn't really know. I called a place in New York, a consignment shop, and I said, "I got an offer on this purple baguette. Do you think I should sell it?" And the seller or the store owner said, "Take that money and run."
Really?
Because at the time they weren't.
I mean, that
booming.
Yeah, because I know what you sold it for, and I know that is.
That was insane.
At that moment was insane.
And I fear.
Not now, but
now,
then.
I fear I may have had a little bit of a something to do with these prices.
Yeah.
And that's not being big-headed, because I don't think so, but they just
fair.
started, and I'm like, oh fuck, what have I done?
Yeah.
But I knew their value, and I was trying, because I don't source from wholesalers. I source from individual collectors.
Right.
So it's hard to obtain them. They're expensive as it is. They're in pristine condition, and then I sell them for the price that I think. And now it's got a little crazy, because now I can't, which really upsets me, is I'm trying to find new ones for the shop, and I don't know how much longer I can do it for that particular bag, because which breaks my heart.
So sad, because COVID, especially because you mentioned that, COVID was a gold mine for buying, and no one had any money to buy. So I'm thinking back on the stuff that I didn't buy during COVID, and I feel like the prices were insane on everything. You could just get baguettes for so cheap, so
400, 500.
I actually bought one during COVID, I think for like $400, and now I'm just like, that was the time, that was the moment. Now
it was the moment's gone.
This is a seller's market. It is not a buyer's market for Fendi baguettes at all, is it?
It depends. Like I've done some sales, like on my stories, where I had pieces for a while that I am still able to sell at a really good price. And I'm sure resellers buy them to resell, which is fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But now, it is really, it's so many sellers are buying them that now other sellers are buying from sellers.
Right.
And it's just like this vicious cycle. And eventually I do believe that they're going to be like, oh shit, they're not going to be able to move them. And then they're going to drop.
So, Japan. Talk to me about Japan, because I, as a person who collects archival fashion, as we know from Sex and the City and bags and clothes, Japan was a really good resource for getting pieces.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Those days are over.
What's happened?
Well, the tariffs. That doesn't help. But all these TikTokers, and I'm not judging people to be on TikTok. Oh, here I am buying this, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And I mean it. And
fuck off.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, because there are collectors, and I know I'm a seller, but now everyone's running over to Japan or on they call it Japanese eBay. Everyone knows that. There's just Japanese sellers on eBay. You haven't, and these people are like, oh yeah, this is how you, shut up. But whatever, now it's completely oversaturated that I actually, the other day, I ended up buying a beautiful pink sequin baguette, which will be on the site soon, for half the price of, it was double the price in Japan. I'm trying to get this bag,
And so you got it here?
I got it here in the US.
Amazing.
I was able to, but I had to source. I ended up buying it from like a small little consignment store. I was on the phone and paid by phone, because Japan now, it's so oversaturated, and that's a lot to do with TikTok.
Yeah, so that resource is gone. And my friend is in Japan right now, and I texted her yesterday and said, how is it looking? And she said, the fun ones are up there. Because the prices are huge.
Yeah, like the markets now, why not charge that? If I was a seller in Japan, I would do the same thing. Yeah. It's just they're getting the customers, and now they can do that.
So the Fendi pink one, is it the baguette version of this?
No, it's like the ones from like the late 90s, early 2000s, like the blue one with the...
Oh, I was going to ask you about this. So in a little while, we're going to talk about Sex and the City and Fendi baguettes. And I was looking in the episode where Mr. Big meets her at 11 Madison, and she's carrying the pink dress that I designed, and then she's carrying that baguette. The pink one is what I think you're talking about.
Oh, the crossbody one.
What is it? What is that baguette called?
The
pink one.
I call it the long baguette.
It is the long baguette.
But I don't know if that's the official name.
Is it a baby baguette? I think some people call it a baby baguette because it's half the size, I think.
It is.
It too. But that's gone quite pricey now. I think you could get them for around $1,000 about 7-8 months ago, maybe.
And now it's so nice to wear that one as a nice crossbody if you're going out and it sits there, or you can just wear. I love it. You can't wear it really as a clutch though, because it's a little floppy, but
yeah, it has that lovely.
I love
creasing.
it. Mm-hmm.
So would you say, and this in my opinion, I think this, would you say that the Mama pink sequin is one of the most coveted? This one.
Oh, this one. I would love to take that home with me today.
Well, you can't.
Keep it forever.
Yeah,
don't sell it.
Because you said that to me and I said, no, I would never sell this one, because
this is the one.
It was actually the bag from Sex and the City that I wanted. I do love the purple baguette, and yes, I'd kill to have it.
Yeah.
But Actually, I always wanted the pink.
I love pink.
Mama. It's it's this lovely candy pink colour that's just so like enticing. And of course, it was from Sex and the City. And then I also have it in the croissant, which, you know, I just couldn't resist. It came up and I was like,
you had to have both.
It's the only croissant that I own. How do you find demand for croissants?
Not as much. And even for the little ones, like that little snakeskin one we have down there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but usually it's Mama or Baguette. Baguette mostly, but...
I would imagine, yeah. Because the croissant, it's just a show bag. It doesn't do anything.
Credit card, lipstick...
Well, think about Carrie when she's got the little, the green one, and she's like, look at my purse. And then they're like, why are you showing us this? It's a great Fendi. And she's like, it's because I've left all my stuff at Biggs. And this is all I had to bring. It's just got my underwear inside.
I love that.
And it's like, yeah, that's pretty much
that's literally
a song.
It. I don't even think so. Maybe, G-string.
It really is for show bag. $2,500 for a bag that doesn't carry anything in it.
It's fashion.
Pretty fab. But then I will say that Fendi reissues, they do that. I hate it. The Fendi phone case, the new ones in the store. And they're literally like that horrible. They're basically a version of this, but they're a boxy design. And it's called a phone bag, but it does not fit a phone unless you're using a BlackBerry from 2015. I think the purple one and this one. But there's a lot of other bags from Sex and the City. So let's talk a little bit about Sex and the City. So... how important was Sex and the City to the success of the Fendi Baguette?
I think that the Baguette is the Baguette because of the popularity of Sex and the City. And especially bringing in now all the, I don't know what it's called. What is it? Gen Z? Yeah, what am I? I don't know what I am. I don't even know millennial. What I am, but, the younger ones.
We're millennial. I think we're millennials, but then what are they?
Are they Gen Z?
I think they're Gen Z.
I don't know. But yeah, so they've now started rewatching Sex and the City.
Of course, it's got
so they're seeing and they're like, wow, this is the 90s. Oh my God.
And they think it's amazing. And we're like, yeah, we were alive. We were alive living it. You know the history with Sex and the City and the Baguette. So Pat Field, in the first, you were a Sex and the City fan, right? You watched the show. So you will have noticed that in the first season and maybe even into 3/4 through the second season, the fashion is somewhat different to what it goes on to become. Very vintage based, very kind of probably what we would call high street, you know, that they were pulling from. I mean, they were getting some good designer stuff, but not really. Because the show wasn't a success at that point where brands were just throwing products. Fendi were the first luxury brand to loan to Pat Field. They loaned the Baguette. And I think it was because Fendi, was not that profiled at the time. Yeah, it'd been around forever. It was a famous fashion house. But it wasn't what we know now. And she must have approached them and they sent her a Baguette, which had just been released. Because if you think about it, 97 for the Baguette, 98 for the release of Sex and the City. So they were the gateway luxury brand for Pat to get expensive things for the show.
Super, super cool.
How cool is that? Yeah. So there was so I think if I was to describe it, it's like a two-way thing because Pat has done them a massive favour. I would argue that she's done the bigger favour to them than they did to her lending her a bag.
I think so.
I mean, where would Fendi baguettes have been anywhere near as popular, do we think?
I mean, I don't think that I would have, because Carrie's like, her style, like first of all, Pat Field is insane, the best stylist ever.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, because I never looked at like a Chanel classic flap like the way I look at a baguette, because Carrie didn't wear that.
Me neither. She didn't wear it. She did wear some Chanel actually.
Yeah.
She wears a beautiful pink flat bag. Briefly, she's in her apartment wearing a kimono and she just takes her lipstick out of it. Like, we don't see it being carried. It's just, it's my bag and I'm just looking through it. Yeah. And it's seen for a second and I'm like, I really want that bag. Just because it was in Sex and the City.
Yeah, exactly.
But like you said, because we don't really associate. Mm-hmm. However, you and I both have owned, I own and you had it, Charlotte's chocolate bar bag.
Yes.
So we're going off Fendi for a second because that's actually one of my favourite bags of all time.
I love it. I miss it.
Yeah, you had it, and then did you sell it quickly?
I did, yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bag. For those of you that don't know, it's the classic flap in the, what size is that? It's kind of not the 255. I think
it's the reissue, the two.
It's a little bit bigger, and it has this beautiful contrast white edging
stunning.
around it, and it's the chocolate bar bag. And ever since I saw that, from the very first moment I watched Sex and the City, I had to have that bag. And I saw it. How crazy is this? I was in Hong Kong in 2001, and it was hanging in a consignment store in Hong Kong, and I couldn't afford to buy it at the time, and it was pristine. And for 15 years after that, I was like, I have to buy this bag. And
when did you find it?
I got it for my birthday about 3 or 4 years ago. And to be fair, I bought a slightly worn, it had to be. I got it for a great price. And it was, you know how the chain handles go a little bit green, oxidized sometimes. And I was like,
I like that.
I don't even care.
I like a bag with a story, and I like a bag. Some people can be too fussy with vintage pieces.
Right.
You have to appreciate like a ding, and I think that's the beauty of vintage.
And I remember thinking, this is amazing. And I don't care that it's a little bit worn. And I've never really minded them being worn. I mean, you know, there's no way that these bags, how old are these bags now? 25 years old?
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to be pristine condition. Although I have to say, this purple one looks pretty pristine.
Well, I'm crazy with the pieces. Like I said, with the pieces I source, I'm very much. But if it's for me, you know, the bag I carry.
You don't mind so much.
No,
but
I'll drop it in a puddle. I don't care.
The purple one, do you know what era that purple one is?
Yes, so this is going to be from I'm going to say 2001 to 2003.
So it's still a pretty old bag,
Yeah.
but it's incredible condition.
So the thing is with Fendi, you know, the serial code.
Yes.
You can't, like with Dior, you know what year, but it's hard to, because the Fendi is just numbers.
Yes.
So you don't really know.
It's more difficult to
unless
kind
you
of
see the
date
runway
it.
shows. But
let's go on to Sex in the City. So apparently carried 13 baguettes. Now, I believe one of those may be Samantha's. The number might include Samantha's gold Playboy mansion. Have you ever had that one? The gold leather?
A couple times.
That one used to come up a lot, didn't it? I used to see it a lot, and now all of a sudden I'm not even seeing that one anymore.
I can't see it. And if I do see it, which I have, it's sometimes it's scratched and it's like $5,000. Ah.
I'm so gutted that I didn't buy that when it was like
That's
1,000.
one of my favorites, actually, because I've had it a couple times and I've used it. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
I feel like that's a bag you just use all the time.
It's so good. And it's the leather is just such nice leather. And then I love the buckle.
And it's that supple, that lovely shape that the reissue bags just don't have. Look at this one. When you pick this up, the top should cave in.
Exactly.
You pick up the handle and it crunches in on an old baguette. If it doesn't, I feel like you kind of like, is that an old baguette? Like it's like it could be.
Is this fake?
Is it fake? Yeah. There's these little identifiers that if you're used to carrying baguettes, you kind of get used to. They always have this. And the saddlebag, the Dior also has that dip. In the center.
Yeah.
That's a key. I think you told me that. That also has to have a dip. You told me this a long time ago, that if there's not a dip at the top of the bag, it's fake. And it's amazing how many times I've seen bags which are straight across. Dead giveaway.
I think unless it's like brand new, but especially.
Yeah, obviously. But if it's a 25-year-old bag.
No, exactly. It's going to have some identifiers.
It shouldn't have a straight top to it. It should have a slight little dip. But yeah, back to Sex in the City. So do you remember any of the 13 times that she carried them?
I can think, for some reason, what's coming to my mind is Samantha in the blue dress with the white crossbody baguette with the embellishments on it. Do you remember?
See, I didn't even think of that one. I wrote down all of the
I don't know why that's
ones
on
that
my
I could think of. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think. I always think of Samantha and the gold baguette because, of course, it's iconic. What about carry times that she carried them? I've wrote down as many as I could. I want to see if you can think of any, because I want to talk to you about each bag, because some of these are really covetable that I feel like I personally get asked about all the time. What about the whip stitch?
I love it. That is, I had it, but without the mirrors. I've been trying to find the one with the mirrors.
She's wearing that amazing Patfield red leather bustier top.
Amazing.
And the little Fendi whip stitch. Now, I've come across quite a few whip stitches which are called Solaria, and I think they're always cheaper, but they're similar looking, aren't they?
They are, but the leather's different. Like I love the whip stitch, and I like I said, I've had it once, and it's just the craftsmanship on those ones it's so good, but I haven't had
insane.
the mirror. I love it. Okay, so the one that she carries in the episode, it has like beautiful mirror detailing just at the edges and then at the bottom.
Oh, wow.
And then just the regular whip stitch, the one that I had on the site, which is the closest one I could find because I had a lot of clients asking, just didn't have the mirrors.
See, so many people ask me about that bag. I think it's actually one of the most, you know why? It's really wearable. Because it's leather.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not like this where you can't walk around New York City with this bag. Like, not unless you want to ruin it in a hot second. I mean,
like evening bag only, you have to be careful.
Yeah, I took this out to do the recreation of the mugging scene. I did it in the original location. And I took this because I don't have the purple one. And I think I came back and I damaged it into a small amount, just literally carrying it inside the dust bag in my bag. So, like, I think that's why the whip stitch is so popular. What about the, this is a good one. And I saw this recently, didn't buy it, which was so stupid. The sliding doors, when she's outside the hospital after Natasha falls over and whacks her lip, she's wearing a crossbody, the fringed. So, correct me if I'm wrong, it's denim and then it has little mirrors on it, and then it has fringing.
It has the fringe, and then it has like sort of like a seashell sort of bead.
Yes.
And then the denim with the fringe, and then
hers has a pink buckle.
Yeah, it has the pink, like exactly like this.
I think that one's also really popular. But what's interesting to me is, and maybe you can answer this question for me, she wears it as a crossbody in that scene, right? Really famous scene. She's got this huge wedges on. She's got like grey maxi skirt. She's got the denim jacket, and then she's got the crossbody. Did that bag come with a crossbody strap? Because every time I see it, it's just a classic baguette.
So that bag was that one that she wears with Big in the restaurant. They had two variations. So I had the classic denim baguette size. So she was actually just wearing the other version of it.
So the fringe
She's wearing the long baguette.
Is the long baguette.
Yeah, so the fringe is the long baguette, but
Okay.
I had the classic version of it, but yeah, she was wearing the long version.
So now I'm thinking that when I passed up on the green one, because you know me, it has to be the exact one.
It has to be exact,
I passed up on it was exactly the same bag, but thinking about it, it wasn't. It was the baguette size. Hers is the longer one.
Yeah.
So it did come with the crossbody.
And they used to be, I saw those for super cheap.
Super cheap,
But
I
they
know.
were very hard to move always, the long ones. But I love them personally.
Yeah. Well, I think people like a crossbody bag. I mean, I work
Exactly.
in fashion and I think I've sold more crossbody bags than anything else because people like
They do.
It's so much more accessible. You can throw it over, you know, it's easy. All right. What about, we talked about the mini croissant, the green one. What about, how do you feel about these? The felt with the flowers. What's your thought on these?
Okay, so the felt with the flowers. So I think they're super fun. And they're from the full 1999 runway.
Okay.
Loved that show. So iconic. I had a pink one and it sold the day I got it.
Okay.
Do you know how long I had the grey one?
How long?
You know
Years?
when I sold it? 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And how
I
long
had
did
that
you have it?
bag for 3.5 years.
Oh, wow. I actually saw the grey one the other day and I was going to ask you whether I should buy it. So that would be a no.
I mean,
It was
for
the
personal,
mama. I saw the grey mama.
Yeah, I see. I had the grey baguette, but
Okay.
pink, green, very good. Which is weird because grey is neutral, and you'd think that it would.
But she wears the
Green.
with
Yeah.
John Bon Jovi in the scene, and she's wearing the most incredible outfit, and I think it just pops.
Obsessed. I
So
know.
good.
The green is amazing.
I just don't like the felt. I don't
it's
know why.
wool.
Is it wool? Kind of has that. You know, when we were little and we used to have
That's what it looks like,
That,
yeah.
It's that, isn't it? Was that what's those weird toys like? They were like felt, fuzzy felts or
It
something.
looks like a bag that you make at home.
Yes.
It's fun. It's whimsical, but I think the things on it, like the flowers, I think they are felt, but it is like. It's like a bag that you would make at home.
It is a homemade baguette. It's cute, but it's just not one of my, like, I absolutely have to have it. I was interested to know how popular they were. Carries a bronze baguette in beaded. Do you remember that one?
I remember that one, yes.
That's beaded, right? Or is it
I believe
sequin?
that's. Wait, what scene? Is it the one when she's by the car?
No, that's another one. So when
Okay.
she's by the car with Aiden's, she's had the affair with Big.
Yeah.
Aiden's going away. She's kind of feeling really guilty and she's saying goodbye to him. It's a gold and silver sequin. It's kind of, I think the overall colour is gold and then it has silver patches on it. Have you seen that one? It's really random.
I would have to see it
It's
then
seen
because I'm
for such a
thinking
split second.
I know, so it's hard. So sometimes when I'm like, baguettes on Sex in the City. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't, because it's so brief sometimes.
And I'm the biggest fan. I mean, I collect all the clothing.
No, of
Even
course.
I was like,
What is this
like,
one?
what is this
Because it's so
one?
blurry, yeah.
Then there was a white sequin baguette that
Mm-hmm.
she's wearing when she goes to the therapist office and she meets John Bon Jovi, and she's wearing that insane Carol Craig
Yes,
rose dress that I
yes.
do own. She has
You own it?
I own that dress. Cost a fortune.
You have the best.
That dress is beautiful, but I will
need to
say-
see all of your clothes.
I do
because I will die.
periodically do wardrobe reveals, but I've collected a lot in the past year since I've done the last one. That dress, I think, has always been very coveted. A lot of celebrities wore it back in the day
Yeah.
as well. When you put it on, it's heaven. Oh, I know. When she goes to Staten Island, they get drunk, right? And she's dancing. She has the Cavalli jeans on. She has those gold ruche boots. She has that fabulous little bandeau top, which is like green and white striped, and she has a floral baguette. Now, this is an interesting one because I could have sworn to God that was one of those woolly flower ones in my head. And then I actually looked into it and went, no, it's not like that at all. All right, do you know the bag I'm talking about?
I believe so. It's the pink and white snakeskin with the flower
That's it.
things on it. Yeah.
Yes. Have you had that one?
My really close friend who is also, she's a seller. She's like my mentor. We were super close. So I believe I buy from her sometimes, vice versa. And she sends me it. And I'm like, oh, no, I'll think about it. And I didn't get it.
Oh, no.
I know. And this was like 2 years ago. So I was like, fuck.
Was it a good price?
It was a great price.
If you are wanting to start collecting baguettes, this probably isn't the best time to start a collection. It's good to buy one amazing piece, but you're not going to get the prices right now that you were getting.
No, and you also, like, if you want a piece in good condition, definitely research the seller. Get it from me.
Yeah, buy it from
I'm
Molly.
joking.
She's British. She would never lie to you. We're like, and also the condition is really important.
No, exactly.
Because from everything you've said, I know that you are obsessed with selling really good condition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that, a lot of people don't care about that.
They won't be like, I'll polish the hardware. I'll make sure that it's perfect before I ship it.
Do you think that people are buying them at the prices you're seeing them at, though? Are you seeing them sell fast at like $5,000?
Yeah.
Wow. Who are these people? Who are you? Really rich folks, celebrities? Let's
I
talk
think a
about
lot
that.
of celebrity stylists and stuff like that. for sure.
Have you seen celebrities of late, as in the past 5 to 10 years, and I'm going to use that as opposed to like 25 years ago, have you seen many people carrying vintage baguettes?
Madonna.
Oh, really?
She wore the really super cool one. It's being reeditioned. It has the blue lizard.
Oh.
I actually have it on the way, but not with the blue
Amazing.
lizard. And then Bella Hadid, I think she was spotted with
She's always doing the archival fashion thing,
the
though. She's big on
yeah,
archival
super
fashion.
cool. But the mama pony hair, so I'm like, oh, Bella had it. Let me just get that for the shop.
Yeah.
And then I think Olivia Rodrigo did the pink sequin.
She's another one who is
Yeah.
really into reissuing those because she wore the Chloe Horse trousers that
So
Carrie
sick.
wore.
And I love those.
Those trousers are
now I'll
my-
never get them.
Not now. I bought
know.
those trousers for £160 a long time ago. Back in the day, yes, Paris Hilton was always carrying a baguette. But actually, aside from Sex and the City, I struggle to find references of people actually carrying baguettes. And now I love baguettes. Whenever I go anywhere, I've got a black beaded
I
and
love the black beaded.
goes everywhere with me. I'm surprised by how little we are seeing them in popular culture now. So then my question would be, who are these people who are going crazy buying them?
I think it's collectors and lovers of the show.
Yeah. So, but again, back to Sex and the City, right?
Exactly. Yeah, lovers of the exactly.
Yeah. Let's finish up with a few questions. What is your favourite ever Fendi bag? Give me just like the one that you almost didn't want to sell it. It was so good.
I haven't had it yet.
Really?
It's super cool, and I'll send you the photo. It's like metal, but it looks like it's metal, and it's hanging from it. Have you ever seen it?
I don't know.
It's
I'll get a
silver.
reference photo, though,
It's
for everyone.
insane, and I saw it on the Real for, I think it sold for like 1,500, and I wanted it, and I was like, oh my god, maybe 2,000. But then I saw another reseller got it, whatever. I think it sold for like 7,000 or something.
What is I probably know the answer to this, but what's the most covetable Fendi bag?
I would say it really depends. I get DMs at least once a day asking for the purple.
So, I mean, I figured that was going to be the case. And so then probably the same answer. What is the most expensive?
Have you seen the insane ones with like the hanging beads? With the fringe, with the hanging beads like all over.
Oh my God, beautiful.
I had one of those. Insane. Now that is a piece that just because it's like a piece of art that I wish I had kept.
Wow. All right, I have just remembered one bag that we haven't talked about from Sex and the City. The Fendi Circle bag that Carrie wears when she gets on the motorbike with Berger. I love that. Have you ever seen the fringe version? I own the Circle bag without the fringe. Mm-hmm. Never seen the fringe. It's how is it possible that we've never seen it?
I don't know, because I have also tried to look for it.
Yeah.
Because I love that bag.
It's amazing.
And I can't.
It's on the runway, though. It's on the runway in that year. So if it's on the runway, it's possible it was styled as a one-off piece for the runway. That has, as a stylist, I will say that does happen. We do sometimes use a piece for purposes of theatrics that is not actually produced. But the fact that Carrie has one means that there was one. I think they were produced. So how come we've never found one?
Well, I can't even find it with like Google image search. So I think...
No, me neither.
I think that it was a runway sample that they gave to the show.
Which is entirely possible.
It could be.
There is quite a few
because
things from Sex and the City where that happened, and it means we'll never be able to find them, which is just... I mean, I own the Circle. I actually found the Circle a few years ago, and it's amazing, but totally pointless, because it has these huge, amazing circles, but the bag itself is like this big. And it has like a zipped pocket underneath it, which is quite obscure. And I think I'm going to customize it and put a fringe on it.
You should, yes,
because,
definitely.
You know, I think that would be really fun. But, you know, I carried it to a movie premiere recently, and it's like, it's amazing because you've got the big things. But then at the end of it, this bag just kind of hangs and doesn't do anything. It needs that fringe. It needs the weight to bring it down. I think we've pretty much covered all of our Fendi topic. Anything
Lovely.
you want to add?
Thank you so much for having me, and it was so lovely to meet you in person.
Well, thank you for coming and talking about it. And obviously, I'll put links to your store because we know that you have like amazing resale pieces. And on that note, it's a full-time job, isn't it? Looking for these pieces.
Yeah. I love to do it. So.
And then, I have one more question for you. Do you have your own personal baguette collection, or do you sell them all?
I sell them all.
So you haven't kept any of them?
I have one. It's just a Zucca.
That's hilarious.
And I'm ready to actually sell that one.
You're exactly the kind of person that should do your job.
Exactly.
I could never do
I don't
that
get
job.
attached.
I could not. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Can you believe it? Yeah, I don't even have
that's so
not
funny.
one. Just the Zucca, because that was the bag that I treated myself with when I first made like a good sale. I was like, okay, I'm going to get myself a bag, but that's it. I mean, I'm a phone in my pocket kind of gal.
That's
and I
hilarious.
love bags. I appreciate the art, but
I love that so much.
I
You're
don't
the
get
perfect
attached.
reseller. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking about this, because I could talk all day long about designer archival bags. They're just so much better than anything you can buy in stores
Agreed.
now. And we'll definitely have you back on again, because there's so many more bags from Sex and the City and just archival fashion in the 90s, 2000s that we can talk about. So thank you so much. Join me on the next episode where we'll be talking everything Gossip Girl, and I'll see you then.
The city lights are shining bright. I see the icons at it. They paint the town with dreams so bold. Their stories never getting